I'm Nico, and here's 30 fun facts about Mario Kart World. Wait, not this one. There you go, this one. Development for Mario Kart World actually started a long time ago, as the prototyping phase began back in March of 2017 when the OG Switch was released. Development started at the end of that same year. Yep, you heard that right, Mario Kart World was supposed to be the OG Switch's Mario Kart game. The team decided early on that they wanted a big connected world, as they felt they had already perfected the classic concept of Mario Kart with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The idea was to have 24 racers at once, doubling what the old game was doing. Sadly, this required a lot of processing power, and soon the team realized that they would have to give up on some of their ideas, as the Switch wasn't powerful enough for what they wanted to achieve. Eventually, they were given the opportunity to create the game for the Nintendo Switch's successor, a much more powerful console, and this suddenly opened up a bunch of possibilities without them having to give up on their original vision. Development for the Nintendo Switch 2 console began in 2020 and came with some challenges as well. Now they had the power to create the game they wanted to, but with better hardware comes more expectations, meaning that they now wanted to make the game look even more alive, adding time and weather elements to every single track and connecting them in a way that makes sense in the open world. Mario Kart World had a development team of over 300 people. 22 game designers, 86 programmers, and 192 different artists. The team needed help from other studios like Monolith Soft, Bandai Namco, and 1UP Studio. In comparison, the team for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was composed of 163 people. Man, Mario Kart World is a huge collab effort! Mario Kart World has 30 different racetracks to choose from, which may seem like a small number compared to the 96 tracks you can play in Mario Kart 8 if you have the Booster Course Pass. But if you decide to count all of the different roads and intermissions, well, you'll get about 200 more. Yo, that's a lot. YouTube user GetLucky has a video showing them all off, and the video is 10 hours long. Yup, that's a lot of driving. As for character count, Mario Kart World features 24 main characters like Mario, Peach, Luigi, Yoshi, etc., and 26 NPC drivers like the penguin, the cow, the Goomba, and the others. That's 50 different characters, and that's without counting all of the different costumes, because if you do that, you'll get a total of 153 different characters. Well, no wonder the character selection screen is a complete mess. How do you even display that many characters and make it make sense? Mario Kart World also allows you to drive some other vehicles in the intermission races and in free roam mode. These new vehicles include a giant truck that can ram opponents off the track, a giant boat that moves quite fast, and even a freaking UFO that you can use to capture those poor little cows. That's so cool! In Mario Kart World, you can now use the right analog stick to move the camera around you. And yeah, that's kinda cool, I guess. But here's the thing, if you have a shell or another item in your hands, you can now throw it sideways using this technique. As the camera moves painfully slow, I don't see this becoming a new pro technique. But still, it's cool that it's available to do. While you're driving around in the water for long periods of time, you'll notice that sometimes seagulls will just fly around with you, which is kinda cool. Reminds me of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker a little bit. Anyways, sometimes instead of seagulls, you'll have Super Koopas flying around with you. Whoa, haven't seen these little guys in ages! As a fan of Super Mario World, I'm glad to see they're doing good. There's a pretty cool Easter egg in front of Boo Cinema. If you take a good look at the wooden planks in front of it, you'll notice that it is very similar to the layout of the classic Ghost Valley tracks from Super Mario Kart. There's even a P-Switch challenge in free roam that will make you race through these tracks, and it will even play the classic SNES music! So neat! And there's more of these classic SNES references, as you can play Vanilla Lake as a P-Switch mission near the Sky High Sundae area. There's also Koopa Beach near the DK Spaceport area, and Choco Island too. Oh, and all of these tracks will also play their classic SNES song and will only feature items from the SNES game in the item boxes. Now that's what I call attention to detail. Several characters have costumes to unlock and they often reference other Mario games, but my pal Bowser has one that has a more obscure reference. If you get the supercharged costume, you might look at Bowser and not get the reference at first. But here's the thing though, it is actually a reference to the Skylander game on Nintendo Wii U, where Bowser would race on a huge bike and would look pretty badass, not gonna lie. Yoshi also get a more obscure reference as one of his costumes, the biker one. At first you might just look at it and you're like, okay, it's Yoshi, he's got shades, he's kinda cool, and you don't think more of it. But actually, it is a reference to Boshi, a character that races other Yoshi in Super Mario RPG. Located on Yoaster Island, this purple Yoshi also wears cool-looking shades. That's kinda cool. There's way more costumes references, but we'll stop here for this video. I might do a video eventually explaining all of the different costumes and their references, so hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. Have you noticed that during the Mario Kart World Direct presentation, they showed the penguin NPC falling down? Twice! This is obviously a reference to the baby penguin from Super Mario 64. For some reason, players loved grabbing this little annoying guy and they love to throw him off the cliff. I know, it's cruel. But you did it as well, okay? Just don't try to deny it. And well, Nintendo clearly did it too. The free roam mode features some little Yoshis, Toads, and Shy Guy NPCs, and they all have an actual life to live. If you decide to stand at a bus stop and wait for a while, a bus will eventually arrive and will drop and embark new passengers. And if you follow one of these walking guys, they might eventually get to their cars and drive away to their homes. I do really love the attention to detail. Choco Mountain is back in Mario Kart World, and it looks very different this time around, feeling more like a monster truck stadium than it does a chocolate mountain. And well, if you approach this track and take a good look from afar, you'll notice that it is shaped like a freaking monster truck. Yo, that is sick! Rob the Robot is not a playable character in Mario Kart World, which is a sad moment for all Mario Kart DS fans. The thing is, our favorite robotic operating buddy has been recycled and turned into a bike this time around, the Rob Hog. Choosing this vehicle as certain drivers will make him feature his Japanese colors, while some other drivers will make him gray like his North American colors. Yo, the attention to detail, man, it's insane! Kamuzi Totaka is one of the most famous composers for Nintendo games, and he has his habits of hiding a song in each game he works on. The song is called Totaka Song, and it sounds like this. Well, guess what? Totaka Song is also in Mario Kart World. In the character selection screen, if you hover over Yoshi and wait for a bit, there's a chance that Yoshi will eventually hum the notes for Totaka Song. Man, finding this secret song in every Nintendo game will never get old. One of the tracks in Mario Kart World is called Faraway Oasis, and it takes place in a savanna. It features a bunch of animals like elephants, zebras, giraffes, and ostriches. But one thing that I noticed is that eventually you'll jump off this big rock here. But if you turn around and take a good look at it, you'll notice that it looks a lot like the Pride Rock from the Lion King movies. Maybe this is a stretch, but I do think that this was put there intentionally as a reference to this iconic movie. What do you think? Speaking of references, there's an area that is really hard to reach in free roam, as it contains 3 separate gates you have to break in order to get there. I think you're definitely not supposed to go there, but if you decide to go anyways, you'll see some cows and a UFO ready to capture them. I think this is a reference to Area 51, a secret military base that is supposed to be where the government hides proofs of aliens. This place cannot be visited and is highly protected, just like this Mario Kart World area. Spooky. Don't judge me for this one, okay? But as you can see, my boy Bowser has a tail, right? We all agree on that? Okay, good. Well, where is it now? Where did he go? Where did you put your tail, Bowser? In your butt crack? Mario Kart World features a hidden LAN play option if you want to play with your friends locally. On the main menu screen, highlight wireless play and then hold down the L and R buttons and click your left control stick in, and if done correctly, wireless play will turn into LAN play. Using this new option, you can now connect more than 8 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles together. Actually, you can connect 24, meaning that you can play with 23 other players, each having their own consoles in the same room. Kinda cool for LAN parties. Mario Kart World allows you to race in the 50, 100 and 150cc classes, but there is also a secret one you can unlock, Mirror Mode. Once again, this mode makes everything reversed, changing our perspective completely. Apparently, it was too confusing for gamers to unlock themselves because Nintendo actually sent fans in Japan some detailed instructions on how to unlock this mode. And if you want to know, well, basically you gotta play all 8 Grand Prix at 150cc, all 8 Knockout Tours at 150cc, and get 10 P-switches, 10 panels, and 10 Peach medals in free roam mode. Once that is done, clear the Special Cup at 150cc one more time, and you'll be good to go. Once that mode is unlocked, there's a very neat Easter egg in free roam mode. You want to go to Peach Stadium and follow the track to jump on the roof of the castle. And then, if you decide to enter the stained glass, you'll be warped into a mirrored version of the world. Pretty cool, right? It reminds me of Super Mario 64! Speaking of free roam, if you were wondering how many P-switches, yellow tiles, and Peach medals you can find, well, now we have the final number. User It's Ryan Dude 5678 on Reddit posted that they finished the game and the total is the following: 394 P-switches, 150 tiles, and 200 medals. That's a lot. PETA, the animal rights organization, called out Nintendo for the fact that you can eat burgers in Mario Kart World playing as a cow, thus leading to virtual cannibalism or something. They're asking Nintendo to confirm that the burgers are vegan. Yep, this is not a joke, folks, and this is also not the first time PETA had beef with Nintendo. They once released a very graphic game about Tanuki when Mario 3D Land was released, and well, it's just another stupid stunt. Why am I even giving them attention? As of me making this video, about 2 weeks after the launch of Nintendo Switch 2, well, 200cc is not available in Mario Kart World, which is kind of a bummer, as I expected this mode to make its comeback. Thankfully, it might be added for free in the future, because remember, Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U also originally did not feature it. It was added a couple months after the game's launch. I have the feeling this is what they're planning to do here as well, but only time will tell. I know a lot of people were a bit sad that the free roam mode is a single player experience, as just vibing and driving around with a friend or your brother or sister in the same room could have been very cool. Well, hear me out, as you might not be out of luck. From the main menu, select Wireless Play 2 players, and after choosing your characters, you'll be sent to a lobby waiting for players to join. But here's the thing, just don't start the lobby, just chill. This free roam 2 players mode doesn't feature the blue P-switches sadly, but everything else is available. Happy driving! Mario Kart World received favorable reviews with an average of 87% on Metacritic, which is lower than the 92% Mario Kart 8 Deluxe received. But as the game is still in its early stages, this number could go up as more reviews get added. Personally, I think this game's a solid 9 out of 10 for sure. It was reported by analyst Matt Piscatella that Mario Kart World was sold with about 79% of all Nintendo Switch 2 sold at launch. That is a huge adoption rate, and this number can only get higher. Will Mario Kart World break Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's record of 68 million copies sold? Well, only time will tell. Well, there you go. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you did, well, make sure to give it a like and share it around with your friends. In the meantime, well, check out these two videos. They're pretty cool and you will like them a lot. Alright, bye bye!